So here we are at the 24th edition of the Giro Sardinia, hosted by the amazing and energetic Tonino Scarpetta. This year, the race is held in the northeast of the island, in the region of Alghero. We're based at the Hotel Porto Conte, a beautiful region of the island. This year numbers down a little bit because of COVID-19, but still around 120 starters on the line and some real quality bike riders in attendance. I'm super happy to be here because racing has been a bit limited this year. I am here together with my brother-in-law Dirk Wouters, my moto man, who will be following me for the week with my wheels, my food, my water, and of course a video camera. Stage one, everyone's super excited and just so glad to be here. Organisation very professional with social distancing, masks, temperature checks for all riders. So we were all very happy about that. And the first stage is a 77 kilometre, very tough stage with 1750 altitude meters, including the La Speranza climb, which has gradients of between 13 and 15%. So here we are rocking along the coast and everybody is feeling great, just happy to be riding out with some good weather. You can see there on the left, Barnabas Purbrook from the UK, the big guy in blue. Lots of Italian riders around us, but also riders coming from Germany, from Belgium, of course, and several other European countries, but predominantly this year, Italian riders. So we're getting at a good clip along the coast here, beautiful road. We've got motorbike outriders, we've got following cars, doing a great job. The support crew for the week were just amazing. Here we're actually on the way back. So we went out to the end of the coast. We did a U-turn. We're heading back. And what you see here now is a front group of about 20 guys that have gone away from the main peloton, getting along at a pretty fast clip, as you can see, heading back towards the climb. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to go up that climb, up La Speranza, do a U-turn, come back down, head back along the coast. So here you see actually the start of the climb. I start the climb as usual, as far forward as possible, and I was feeling really good. I think I had an average power on the climb of about 320 watts for something like 17 minutes. So feeling really good, and I actually went over the top of the climb, I think in 8th or 9th position. Also had a great descent. I'd actually done a recce on the descent with my brother-in-law the day before, which is always a great idea for a particular tricky and dangerous descent like La Speranza. I checked on Strava later and I actually had the 10th fastest ever descent on La Speranza. So of course, you know, doing your homework, doing the recce paid off. And I actually caught up with two other riders who'd gapped me a bit on the climb on the descent. Got back onto the coast road. I got together with a chase group. To be honest, I was feeling pretty rough after the climb. I probably dug a little bit deep, burned a little bit too much glycogen. I got in with this group of about 6 guys, including one guy, Francesco Gaffuri, who's in my age group classification. But as you can see here, I actually started experiencing cramps about 6 Ks from home and just had to let the guys go, which really hurt. I mean, it was hurting physically, but also mentally to lose contact after riding very much at the front end of the race up until this point. Wasn't a great feeling. So in the end, I lost about 1 minute and 40 on this group. I made it over the last climb, rolled into home, finished third for the age group classification, 12th overall for the stage. So next up was the individual time trial, a 15 kilometre out and back on a very bumpy course. I guess around 8-9 little climbs. My strategy on a course like this is to really hit it hard on the climbs and then recover on the descents. I think I was doing around 360, 370 watts on the uphills, recovering on the downhills. But within minutes of setting off, it was pouring with rain, howling wind. It was terrible. Sections of the road were flooded. So I was actually very happy with my ride. I had a normalized power of around 320 watts, which is pretty close to my PB for this kind of distance, and a time just over, I think, 23 and a half minutes. Not too shabby given the weather conditions, and enough for me to finish as second Master M5. I think 12th overall. I was actually beaten by Bernardi, who also won the first stage, but I did regain 1 minute and 20 seconds on Francesco Gaffuri, who's sitting in second. So I closed my gap to him to around 20 seconds. So super happy with the ride. As you can see, my brother-in-law Dirk following faithfully along behind in that atrocious weather. Stage 3 was an 82-kilometre stage. Looked really good for me on the profile because it was hard but not too hard, a few bumps along the way. So I felt really good about the possibility of staying with the front group and maybe even going for an age group win here, certainly a possibility of a top 10. However, around the midway point, around 40 kilometres, I don't know what happened. I was caught napping. I dropped back to grab a bottle from Dirk, and at that moment a split went up the road, 12 guys got away. So I actually came into the finish with the chasing peloton, and as you can see here, the finish was really up my alley. It was a 350 metre, very steep uphill ramp, and in that 350 metres I took off, sprinted to the front, and actually took about 10 seconds out of the guys behind me, regaining certainly 10 or 11 seconds on Gaffuri. So for me, I was really disappointed with this stage because I really felt that if I had been at the front end of the race, particularly with this very steep uphill finish, I would have had a chance possibly of an overall podium. Didn't happen, but regained some time on the age group classification, so was happy for that. The fourth stage, the team time trial, 22 kilometre ride. It's a bit of a fun day, not a lot to be won or lost. Well, I was saying fun, it should be fun. It was horrendous. As you can see here, again, really windy, pouring with rain. We could hardly see where we were going. Just dreadful. But we were actually super happy because despite the fact I was the only one on a full TT rig, competing against many other teams that were on full TT bike setups, we managed to finish 5th out of 14 teams. Got a bit of a time bonus as well. So stage 5 was actually cancelled because of bad overnight weather washing out some of the roads on the course. It was cancelled for safety purposes. So we had a day off, day to relax, enjoy the sun. It came out later in the day. And then on Friday, we were ready for the final stage, stage 6. A really tough but short stage. Again, up the La Speranza climb, the 4.6 kilometre climb with very steep gradients. Today was a very important day for me because I was sitting just 10 seconds behind Francesco Gaffuri on the age group classification. So as you can see here, I was staying very much towards the front of the group, towards the climb on the coast road. The climb was, I think, about 17 kilometres from the start. My plan was to really hit that climb at the base, marking Bernardi, who was the guy leading my age group classification, and of course Gaffuri, number 111, who you can see actually in the red and black just behind me here. Everybody split up on this climb very quickly. It's really, really tough, very steep, with gradients of up to 15, 16%. That's Bernardi, the guy who's leading my age group classification. I was super happy on this climb because I really, really dug deep. I was able to follow a final acceleration here by Bruno Sinetti, dropping Gaffuri, who was sitting second in the age group classification, and going over the top of this climb with some really, really strong guys, some of them around half my age. But just a great feeling to make it over this climb. But I really dug deep. I think on the climb I had a normalized power of around, again, 320 watts, so similar to what I did in the TT. But this was after several hard days of racing. And I was also really maxed out on heart rate, having an average of around 174 up the climb, up to 178 in that last sort of kilometre. Keeping in mind my max heart rate's around 182, so really, really tough. And you can see that on my face here. You know, after I was over that climb, we still had about 7.5 kilometres to go. But I was with some really strong guys here. Bernardi, I'm with Barnabas Purbrook here as well, another younger guy who's doing very well in the overall classification. So, yeah, I was really on the rivet here, drilling it with four of the strongest guys in the race, all these guys within the top 10. So I was just hanging in there. I was hoping, actually, because that's Bernardi right in front of me there, 112. I was hoping to finish with this group. I do have a quick sprint on a good day. So here I was hoping that I might make it to the finish and go for the age group win. Certainly possibility of inside top 10. But as you can see on my face here, that's looking pretty unlikely and more unlikely as we head up this climb. I'm really starting to struggle. So unfortunately, I didn't make it with these guys. Photographer caught some pretty cool images of me really suffering in the last couple of kilometres.
So once over the finish line, the pain was forgotten and I was super happy. Having moved up to second overall for the Masters M5 classification and making it onto the podium, together with Francesco Gaffuri, super nice guy, been a terrific competitor all week, and in first place was Matteo Bertani, who really was an outstanding performer for the week. I think he finished something like 6th overall on the general classification, winning the Masters 5 classification. So a huge thanks to the organisers of the Giro Sardinia, who did an amazing job. Of course, a big thanks to my brother-in-law Dirk Wouters, who was there with me for the week. If you've liked this video, please do give us the thumbs up, subscribe to the This Cycling Life YouTube channel, and of course we hope that we not only are able to share our experiences at these events, but perhaps see you at a future event together to race.